Yeah, 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 yeah. 1, 2, welcome to the more show, more. Yeah, it's the more show. Welcome to the more show, more. Yeah, it's the more show. Welcome to the JAYMOOREREVIEWS show. Welcome to the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I appreciate everybody for coming through. I got a special guest coming today with a dope interview. I hope everybody is ready and is ready to enjoy it. I got Michelle Hayes, owner of HAYES Talent Agency, here with us today. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, Jay. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. I'm doing great now that I get a chance to talk to you and, hear all these great things that we're going to talk about today. I'm excited. So thank you again for coming.
Well, thank you.
No problem. All right. So Michelle Hayes, for those who don't know, is one of the few Black-owned and female owners of a talent agency and, this business of acting and, bringing people to the limelight. And so, tell us a little bit about being in that space right now and what it's like being, one of the few to do this.
So actually, I'm excited to say I made history because I have I'm a SAG franchise in Chicago, Atlanta, and Los Angeles. So I'm actually the only one that has that's African American and female. So that's pretty exciting. So it happened. I started my agency back in 2014. I had a partner at the time, and that was right when Empire started and diversity was becoming really big in Hollywood. So they were in need of more minority talent. So guess who had all the friends that were actors or minority talent. So I actually came in at a really good time. And so it was really God, it was divine.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So tell us a little bit about growing up in Chicago and what was the experience of when you were coming up and what was the road that ended up getting you here? How did it all start off for you?
Okay, so I grew up in Chicago. And in my early 20s, I did model. I did a few music videos. And when I got older, more responsible, I was like, I need to do something else in life. Anybody that knows is trying to be an actor or model, It is not consistent. And when you get older, you're like, what am I going to do with my life? And by the fact that I had a lot of relationships with different casting directors, because they knew me from when I used to act and model, they were very, very receptive to when I started my agency. So actually, I'll take it a step back. I used to consult people because people used to always ask, how did you get on this? How'd you do this? So I started a business explaining to them how to do it. And I would help prep them to get with an agency. And then I would see them book with the agency and I see all the money the agency was making. So that's when I had that aha moment, like, you know what, let me take a step back. Let me see if I can actually do an agency. And Jay actually knows my godfather. My godfather was a lawyer. And he has like 3 offices in Chicago. And he let me have one of his offices when I started. So I literally started, Pompey. Hey, God Daddy, if he's watching. That's really how I started. So I had no idea that I was going to start and Empire was going to be coming on and The Shy and all this kind of stuff. So it really just happened unexpectedly. I'm a hard worker. So I went for it.
Right. Like you say, everything just happened perfectly at the right time. And like you said, you were, doing some music videos and things like that. Here's a little clip. I got some clips for you now.
You did not. No, you did not.
What was the clip? Tell us what this was like starting off young in this video right here.
I did not know you were going to bring these out.
I can't play the audio too much. Right.
They're here in Chicago.
Wait, I'm trying not to play the audio because of what you call a copyright.
It's completely fine. But yes, that was me. back in my early 20s in the Dave Hollis video. So when I modeled an act, of course, you have to go to audition. So I went in, I auditioned, and I got the call. And when I got on set, I had my hair in two braids, but 20 years later, oh my God. So when I got on, all the girls were getting the makeup done, the hair done. They were like, no, we like you with the two braids. So I'm the girl in the video with the two braids. And it was ironic. I actually did know Dave back. I went to Hampton University. Shout out to Hampton. So it was
HBCU.
Absolutely. So yeah, it just happened from that. Are we showing other ones? This is the only one we're showing.
I got the 50 Cent.
It's about the actors today.
It's this about you and your journey. We'll get into that as well. I do got the 50 Cent. Tell us a little bit about being in a 50 Cent video to now casting for some of his biggest shows and getting people on the show and all of that. What is that like from that journey right there?
So that was super cool. That's when I lived in LA. I actually made the move to LA to pursue the modeling and acting. And so I remember once again, this was different. I didn't actually audition for this. One of my girls called me and said, hey, they need more girls for the 50 Cent video. And I do want to say this. I was never the girl that was in there shaking her behind.
You counting that money. That's real life for you right there, counting that money about that bread.
That was it was funny. I probably shouldn't tell this story, but when I got there, it was like me and two of my girls, and they picked just two of us. And it was a girl sitting down right in the seat I'm sitting in, makeup fully done, hair done. And I walked in and they said, get up, you sit down, put glasses on, so I had makeup. They actually gave me someone else's role.
Wow.
That was made up and everything. And I don't even know if 50 Cent knows that most of the people, a lot of people on the Power are from me. I don't even think he knows that I'm behind the scenes now. So I was super excited when Power came to Chicago, Power Force, of course. And a really good friend of mine that went to Hampton is a casting director, and she introduced me to the casting director that was for Power Force. And so she saw two of my clients, as most of you all know. I know you saw Jay on there. What is it? Rios, right?
Rojas.
Okay. Please excuse me if I forget the character's name.
Gotta remember Rojas.
No, we're not. Bring back Rojas. Bring back Rojas.
I got my people working on it. I told them flood everybody with bring back Rojas. They left me kind of hanging, so we'll see what happens.
I was already thinking about a plot in my head the other day. I was like, they used to have when you get out of jail. Think about it. If you got out of jail, what's the dynamics like if you get out of jail?
Hey.
So I do know on the breakdown it did say possible recurring, and we do know you're on the first episode, and then they heard your voice in the second. So it's definitely an opportunity to come back, especially when a new season begins. So it's definitely going to grow. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, a
lot of people has got all kind of scenarios they've been putting together for me and stuff. So I really appreciate it. That's really dope, and it sounds great. I love it all. Let's make it happen.
So I'm not sure if you're aware, there's a new showrunner. So in the middle of the season, they got a new showrunner now for season 2. We were just renewed. There's going to be a new showrunner, the showrunner from the original Power. Right. So if you notice, the episodes are a little different mid-season. Do you see it kind of changing a little bit?
Yeah.
The last episode a little different from when it first started. So yeah. So I'm excited about season 2 and where they're going to go with it.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Me too as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's really something though, to go from working in the business to now being the person that's putting people in the business. What's that like for all the people that's watching that say, hey, I want to get in the business. I think I can act. I'm not afraid of the camera. I'm not shy. It is a job. A lot of people don't know. It does take a lot of work. What do you have to say to those people that are thinking, I want to get into the business and get a start?
Okay. So first, you have to approach acting the same way you would any other career, the same way you would do as a lawyer or being a doctor. And I'm going to give you this analogy. So if you were going to get plastic surgery, do you want to go to a plastic surgeon that has been through med school and has studied, or do you want to go with someone that took a course over the weekend? So that leads me to, as an actor, you have to literally train. So these actors you see that make it look easy, that's because they're trained. Denzel has been training. He does theater. They don't stop. So there's a misconception that you can just wake up and memorize lines, and that's acting. And acting is actually really, really hard. Like, you have to understand your camera angles, what you're supposed to say. Like, TV is very small and movies are really big. So if you notice, very few movement in a face when you're doing a TV show. Little things like that you have to learn. You have to be able to dissect a script. You have to look and know who the character is. How can you identify as that character? What is the character's relationship with who's in that scene? So it's more than just, hey, I can memorize lines and I can boom, 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 and be. No, because if you're an actor, you're not playing yourself. So I know I get a lot of inboxes. Hey, my mom told me I was cute, or I know if I work hard, I can do it. And yes, if you work hard, I apologize. I thought I put it on silent. But if you really study the craft, like the way to get to me is I love theater actors, because that shows me they're serious about the craft. They get on stage for $25, $100. They just love it. And that helps hone your skills. So when someone reaches out, I just want to be on Power, I'm not responsive. I don't really, because that's not, you want to be famous. And you can go on YouTube, you can do TikTok, and that's how you can be famous. But if you want to be taken as a serious actor, I need to know that you've taken acting classes, you're in theater, and you are truly trained. So my job is to get you on these TV shows, you're ready, because you've been doing this for a while. Right. Now, you do have your TIs and people that are rappers that get into it, or Will Smith. Please know, he's still training. They get those big breaks because they have the numbers. And you have to understand, this business is about money. Right. So if you're just a regular person out here and you're like, I just want my big break, you're going to have to take those proper steps. Right. And yes, it's unfair. Sometimes if you have a name already, they will bring you on. But they are training them behind the scenes. Please exactly. They have an acting coach on set. You are just not getting up there just memorizing lines. So right. Like it is. Exactly. And that goes for like even people like The Rock. A lot of people don't know, like, they are really working. Yeah, they may get those opportunities to skip a couple lines, but they would be back to where they started if they didn't put in the work to learn. Like, Hulk Hogan, he wasn't as good of an actor as The Rock, so he didn't go as far in his acting career as The Rock. Not to say he didn't try. I don't know all of that, but The Rock, from what I heard, has a legendary work ethic of trying to be the best actor that he can be. So that's great that you said that, and all these people are pointing it out. And so Steve Walton, he's on Facebook, he said this is incredible, this information that you're dropping, and you got some great points and valuable information. We got Vonzel Scott in the building checking you out. That's one of my clients I got on the shy. When he walked up to the little boy and said, what? I'm not going to repeat it. I'll let you repeat it because my mom made me watch it.
Yeah. So I don't want to say it either. But he said some things.
Mm-hmm. He was a recurring on the shy. We got him on Chicago Fire as well. And, of course, Jason. And a lot of people don't realize, Jason, it's 14 to 18-hour days on set. Right, I know you all see a 45-minute put together. They literally have 1,000 hours worth of footage. Actually, another girl that was in a couple episodes as well, and her scene got completely cut out. Right. And she was devastated. She's like, what did I do? You didn't do anything. It's just they have to take 1,000 hours and turn it into 45 minutes. So, exactly. And one thing people have to be okay with if you do want to pursue acting is being okay with hearing no. Right. You hear more no's than yeses. So a lot of people see my success with my actors, but you all didn't see the 100 auditions they went to before they were on Power that they were, they didn't get it. Now they finally got their big break. It's really, you gotta have tough skin. Yeah. You definitely have tough skin in this business. I think, Jason, you just went for audition a couple days ago, right? 2 self-tapes or 1? Or
I just went for two auditions and stuff, and so it's a grind. And also, like you said, like when I was on Work in Progress, I did 4 episodes of that and a lot of hours, and not as many people saw that as that one little clip of Power, but
that's crazy. Okay, but let's talk about this, because Jason is being modest. In Time magazine, Work in Progress was number 3.
Yeah, it was number 3, I believe. Yeah.
So if you all get a chance, definitely go check out on Work in Progress. Jason is funny in this show. I know a lot of people don't know about it, but it's a really good show.
Yeah, it was definitely a good show, and I'd had a lot of time, a lot of fun working with it. But you know, it was a lot of work, and remember all of those lines and those long days, 14-hour days, and getting up at, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning and trying to memorize the lines, and then not getting home to 8 or 9 and still tired but need to memorize it. So it was a lot of work. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the people. It was a great experience and everything. But you know, it is what it is. But I didn't, you know, get into this to be famous and things. So that's another thing. So I really enjoy doing it, and you know, just getting out there and for the craft. Like, for example, one episode, actually the episode in Power, that was a 14-hour day, and we had more things on that I did, and it was what, 10, 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
Right,
so,
that look.
Right.
No, what did you say? What was your line?
Wait till he get out. I'm gonna let him get real comfortable. Then I make the call.
So safe.
Right.
So good, yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So I got somebody in here that said that they wanted to get in contact. I know it's just not that you just picking up calls and talking to people. So what is, because you're a busy woman and you got to have people that are, you know, already established, because part of the what people don't understand is you have to try to book people that you think can land the roles. You know, you can't just send people to auditions and then they're just not booking. Like, that's making you look bad as well. It's wasting their time, your time. So you try to send people and match them to roles that they can book, and they should be taking it serious and be prepared. So if somebody is really trying to be serious, is this some type of workshop or something that they may be able to get involved in? What would you suggest?
Okay. So 2 things.
If they're older and maybe not trying to go back to school,
well, like, you don't have to go to like school like that. So
right.
Actually, my goddad, which you're familiar with who he is, he's in the acting class right now. So it's all ages. You're not actually going back to a school where you're taking 18-hour courses. You're literally just taking acting classes, acting 101, on camera technique, commercial technique, whatever it is you want to do. But then you'll be the next stage, 102. You're just constantly just honing those skills so you can be better. You can always tell people, you know who books a role? The person that doesn't stop working. There's always someone that will outwork you. So when you're in bed at 10 o'clock at night thinking you know your lines, there's someone that stayed up the whole night that didn't play. They're coming to get your role. There are 100 people that audition. They're picking one person. So you have to figure out, how am I going to stand out and do something completely different and wow the producers, wow the directors. So I tell people, if you're already a professional actor, you want to get in touch with me. My website is www.hayestalent.com. Submit your headshot, submit your resume, submit your reel. Put down whether you're interested in representation in Chicago, Atlanta, or Los Angeles. That is only for professional actors that have theater, that have acting experience. It doesn't have to be TV and film. I can do that, but show me you're doing theater. Show me you're in acting classes. Show me you're doing something.
Right.
Now, those that have no experience and just want to know where to start, I do a virtual seminar explaining to you step by step what a proper headshot should look like, what you should say to get an agent, the legitimate agents. We can talk about that. There's so many scams out there. Those radios that you hear, those ads, oh, come to this Disney audition or come to this Nickelodeon audition. That is a scam. And they say, oh, pay $5,000 to meet these agencies and casting directors. And that is a no-no. You submit for free to legit agencies. And if they're interested, we bring you on. We get paid when you book. You do not have to pay for that. Now, I will say my seminar is not free, but that's just me giving you the knowledge and showing you the way to do it. Right. If you're interested in representation, you're a professional actor, that's completely free. That's completely different. But when I take my time out to walk you stuff, it's literally a 3-hour course of me explaining to you the proper way. I give you a list of terminology. I give you resources. I give you a list of all the legitimate agencies to help you from getting scammed. Because I get calls all the time. Oh, I just gave $2,000 or $5,000 to them. No, that's a scam.
Right.
My workshop is cheap. I do it so it's affordable, and it's in $100. It's like $150. It's not even a lot. It's just so that now 101, that's a little more expensive. But if you want to take the class, you can get on anytime. that's cheap. And that's just so you can stop getting scammed, because I hate seeing a lot of our people getting scammed.
Right. Yeah. And that's another thing that I want to point out is that stop being cheap, people, okay? In the sense that you see a sister and you think, well, why should I pay? Or can I get a deal or a discount? Her time is just as valuable as someone else's. And if she's taking the time to give you knowledge and help you from making mistakes, and that saves you time, how valuable is your time? How valuable is it to you to not make mistakes and get scammed or waste your time calling and contacting people and thinking you're going to have your hopes up for something that's not worth it? So it's definitely worth it. Just like I've had some of the similar problems when I try to coach people on YouTube, and some people think, you know, it should be for free, or I'm trying to do this and like my time is worth something too. But you're going to learn information from a person that's done it, and like she's doing it now.
I've booked over 500 people speaking roles. We're not talking about extra work. We're talking about 2 of my clients are already recurring and series regular on Power Force. Lucian, he's the guy with the dreads, the little boy that you're trying to figure out what his relationship is with Tommy.
Right.
I can't tell you what it is. That's my client.
Right.
Ahmad, shout out to both of them. Ahmad is the hothead that always pulls a gun out.
Right.
So next episode, I will tell you, it is going to be fire. They have like so many scenes in episode 7.
Right.
So I'm so stoked about that.
Right.
Yeah.
And for those who not really catching on, she talking about JP's son and his younger partner, the 2 that was shooting up JP Restaurant. She booked them on the show, as well as I got booked on the show as well through, this is my agency as well. So I feel very fortunate, and I appreciate it. You do a great job.
Jason had an inside track, but I won't go into more detail. Jason's known me since I was 5. But I will say this, just because I knew you since I was 5 doesn't mean I'll bring you on.
Right.
Jason did in high school, so I just do want to be clear. Like, even though he knew me, I had him do an audition. I said, "Oh, you're real good. Okay, I'm gonna get you some good roles."
Right.
So, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Right. And also for those that may not know, not only am I kind of got some natural ability, I also were in all the school plays. I went to Columbia College, Chicago, and was involved in classes and things. So it's not that I just said I know somebody and woke up and hit them up and got put on. I put in work. Yeah, I may have had a gap in between, but then also you all know that watch my channel, I also do a lot of impressions and do a lot of jokes and different stuff, and on stage performing and comedy and all kind of stuff. So it's not that I just woke up and did this and just said, oh, well, put me on. So it's still a lot of work involved as well on my
Jason
side.
sent me his comedy reel. He sent me his comedy reel.
Yeah, right.
Look, oh wow, you're doing comedy now. So, and it was stand-up was really good. And I remember submitting that to casting one day because they were looking for a comedian. So yeah.
Right.
So that, knowing about people. So you have to remember, it's not about who you like and who you know. It's really about who's serious about the craft. Because once again, I only get paid when they book.
Right.
So I do a lot of free work. You know, yes, it's beneficial in the end once they book these really big jobs that you see. But, you know, Ahmad went on several auditions before he booked the Shy, before he booked Chicago PD, or before he booked Power. Same with Lucian, you know. There was a lot of no's, a lot of submitting, and no money from, you know. So I want them to know you have to really take this seriously if this is the road you want. If you just want to be famous, get on TikTok and do your little skits.
Right. And you probably would be famous and make more money than trying to, because you don't make a lot of money. Just it's very rare you could just get on in your first audition, you hit it big and you famous and make a lot of money. That's not, it's a grind.
So we want to talk about the rates. Let's talk about the rates.
Okay.
So let's say I book you for just a one day on the show. Yes, fine. Your rate is about $1,056 for one day. If they book you for like a week, that's about $3,600. Now, speaking roles. If they book you for top of the show, meaning you'll see their names in the front of the credit, that begins at $7,500. Once you have exposure and people know you, that's when we get to negotiate higher rates. Series regular, that's the goal everybody wants. 1 hour show, network TV, anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 if you're just starting out.
A week,
those
right?
Episode, yeah. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants the $20,000 to $30,000. Now that's just starting off. If you already have a name then the amount is even bigger. Like the Tarajis and Terrence, they were getting a couple $100,000.
And Mary J.
Mary J gets 400,000 episode. Get 400. Hey, I'll leave behind the scenes. Heck
yeah, that's good money right there.
Wow, look how long we've seen Mary to get to the point where she can get 400,000, or Method Man to get 400,000 to command that. So it's a lot of work, and
it
you
is
start
a
out
lot.
with deposit.
Yeah.
Now I know a lot of people do extra work. That's about 100, 150. That's if you just stand there, you help the scene move along. You don't have words,
right?
But, so I only represent the principals, the speaking roles.
Right.
So
some people have asked me before about maybe me putting you in touch with them because they wouldn't even mind doing extra work, and I told them you don't even do that. And also, if you really are serious, that's not the route to go, because once you get labeled as an extra, it's hard to get out of being an extra. Is that somewhat accurate or no?
So yes and no. So I think everyone should just do extra work one time to just understand and see how everything goes. Just so you can understand the way the set is. For TV, absolutely not. Do not do a lot of extra work, because then I can't get you a principal role because they've seen you in all episodes as an extra. So what he's saying is halfway true. Now I will tell you, do commercial extra work, because they can upgrade you randomly, say, oh, we need you to do this. And so extra work on a commercial pays a little more, maybe about $350. Please don't quote me a day. But if they show you and get upgraded, you start getting what's called residual checks. So every time they play that commercial, you get paid.
Especially a national commercial, right?
A national, or even if it's not national, if it's shown locally, you get paid if it's a SAG commercial. So these are some of the things I discuss in my seminar: non-SAG, non-union jobs, SAG jobs, different pay rate, stuff like that. So so commercial, I would say do extra work. TV maybe wants to get an idea of it. Film, if you want to, it's okay. You won't be labeled as extra.
Okay. And also, when you were going back about those were rates SAG or non-SAG?
Well, that's the SAG rate for TV shows. Yeah.
Okay.
SAG.
All right. So so definitely you want to be a series regular, making at least $20K or up a week, an episode. And if you on 7 or 10 episodes, do the math. You see what I'm saying? So definitely, that's why y'all need to make sure Rojas is back. Okay. Right. Definitely make Rojas back. All right. I got a super chat. Super chat is something that people can do on YouTube where they can send money and ask a question highlighted. So Eric Iverson just sent $5 to the channel. I appreciate it. And he wanted this question. He said, what about directors? How can they get booked to direct an episode? I live in California where everyone does directing on their YouTube channel. So he wants to be a director. What should he do if he wants to try to be a director? What do you have any advice for him on that?
I am not well versed on that. But what I will say is that I would go to Directors Guild of America, the DGA, and just look at what the requirements are, because sometimes they have these fellowships where they bring minority talent in to help them get to that place where they do the whole process. They let you shadow a director, stuff like that. So Google could definitely probably be your best friend. Try DGA and see what the requirements are. Look for some of those programs they have to help get you started. I am not well versed on that. I do apologize. I'm more just the acting side.
No problem. That's a good question. Eric Iverson, appreciate you coming out. He always has some good questions when he comes by, so I appreciate it. And also, just like SAG is the Screen Actors Guild, they got the Directors Guild. These are the unions, and you can contact them, as well as the writers. So if you all want to do that, write, direct, or act, maybe you should contact and get involved in that. And you can't just join those. Like for SAG, what are some of the requirements if somebody wants to be in the Screen Actors Guild? Okay,
to join SAG as an actor, you need to have booked a TV show with a speaking role, like how Jason did. Now he's eligible to become SAG. When he goes to his third job, he's a must join. He has to join. He doesn't even have an option. Another way to become SAG is if you do extra work. You're a non-union, so usually they give you non-union vouchers, But if you can convince them to give you a union voucher and you get 3 of them, then you are eligible to join SAG. So those are 2 ways. If you get 3 SAG vouchers as an extra, or if you get a speaking role, or if you book a SAG commercial as well, they tap hard at you. Mm-hmm. This is all the stuff I talk about in the seminar in great detail. Right. For those that are really interested, yeah.
And although it costs, the benefits are great. So like if I'm not in SAG, what is my pay versus for that exact same role and I am in SAG? What would I be looking at?
So if you book a SAG job as a non-union actor, you still get paid the same rate as a SAG actor. Now, you're non-union, so you can do a lot of non-union stuff that's not regulated by SAG, so you may not get your check. All kind of things can happen. So SAG is great because they fight for you. So let's say Jason is on set and his meal was late. SAG makes sure they pay penalties for being late on this. So SAG is your union that fights to make sure you get paid. If you don't get your check within 10 business days, we contact SAG. They make sure that you get late fees added to this. Non-union set you work on, we just gonna pray that you get paid. And I can't fight for you. All I can do is send an email and I can call and harass them. But we don't have a union that fights for someone that does non-union work.
Right.
But as a non-union actor, you can do SAG jobs and you will get the SAG pay.
Right. Yes. That's why Jay made sure he got into SAG when it was time. Because
it's pricey too. It's a little pricey.
It is expensive, but membership has its privileges. So
you get to watch films whenever it's up for the Oscars.
Yeah, I wish I was in California because I keep getting invited to come to all of these things, live events and stuff with movie stars, and I'm like, man, I can't go. I'm in the middle of nowhere. But anyway.
Jason, I got you. Come on, let's go.
All right, that girl came through with a super chat. I appreciate it. That girl, she said, how did Michelle get started? So you kind of touched on it a little bit. How did you get started? Like you were in videos and you said that some people asked you and you got put on. What is a couple of the steps that you kind of took, to make you do that?
Okay, so I used to give everybody advice on how to get started. I would consult them and I would help them get an agent. And so that's when I had the aha moment, like, why don't you just start your own agency? And to make sure that I was seen as legitimate because I was new, I went the SAG route. So my agencies are SAG franchise, meaning I had to go through a process. So I had to fill out the application. You have to have bonds. You have to have office space. You have to have 3 letters of references from people in the industry. And it can't just be anybody. It has to be somebody that's a part of Directors Guild, someone's part of producer or Writers Guild. Like, they do not play. So I remember I got a letter from a casting director that's in the CSA. I got a letter from somebody that worked at E, and I got a letter from somebody that was a director and a part of the DGA. So they got those references, got bonds. It was a very lengthy process.
Sounds like it.
SAG reps comes out, make sure that your office has to meet a certain criteria. You have to have a lobby. You have to have a restroom. They
want you to be legit. Right. You can't operate out your house.
Oh, no. Now, it's really funny, though, and I wonder if it's going to change, though, with everything being virtual. That's true. I literally work on my computer. I go into the office maybe once a week, and I'm paying rent for these offices. So I'm wondering, will they ever change that? Because I literally can meet someone. I do a Zoom like how we're doing right now, and I can audition them from my computer, and I don't have to go into the office. So I wonder if they will ever change that. But I understand, because you can't just go to some person's house to audition. That kind of seems creepy.
Right, definitely. And then that makes the brand look bad, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely. So let me ask you, what are some, without giving any names and information, what are some of the people that think they this, they that, or they got a big head? What are some of those experiences like with people? Because we all have heard stories where some actors are down to earth and people are surprised. And then, it is those people that think they, better than they may really be. What are some of those experiences like? And how does that, rub
behind
people
the scenes, boy, I need a drink right now just thinking about this. But I will say this. You never know where someone is going to be in life. So you need to be nice to the PAs, to the extras, to whoever. because several extras are now celebrities. Several PAs are now directors. So when you come on there with those attitudes and you do what you want to do and show up late, they don't forget that. Oh, trust me. And so you're only as good as your current job, because guess what? It has to end. You should be trying to figure out what my next job is. So that's why I tell my clients, you need to be nice to everyone. Do not frown, because like this, you can be killed off the show.
That's true.
I'll leave it at that.
That is true. So, hey, some people out there may think they all that. They may get popped upside the head in the next episode, and never know. We ain't talking about anybody
watching.
Clarify,
people that got killed off didn't mean that they were arrogant or a-holes. I'm just telling you something that could happen, or somebody remember working with you and they finally get that big position. Right. You lost their job because they know people work with who they like. If you're not likable, that's 14 to 18-hour days. They're not going to be around when they don't have to be. That's an a-hole.
Right.
14-hour days? No.
That's true.
You got to stay humble in this business, because just like this, your life changes. Just like that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. We got Ray Negron coming through. He said, you got any advice for someone who isn't shy but doesn't know how to get noticed? So he want to see what to get noticed. What should he do? Like get headshots, start taking classes, or what should he do?
So it's two different things. Do you want to get noticed like you want to be famous? Because I would say work on your TikTok performances, do cute skits. That's a way to become famous. Build up your Instagram followers, because I know people that I'm not gonna say okay. I know a couple people that have large followings, and they'll get about $30,000 to $40,000 to promote a product. That's more money to be an actor. Or you can take the route of being an actor, and that's where you have to truly train. You cannot just wake up and say, I can memorize lines. You have to learn the technique to acting. I tell people this all the time. Denzel doesn't stop training. Will Smith does not stop training. Halle Berry, they are constantly training. You don't stop, because someone will always outwork you. Now, some people make a living off commercials. A lot of people frown upon that. But I have a kid that was probably 10 years old at the time. He was in a Kit Kat commercial with Chance the Rapper. He made over 6 figures. Because guess what? Every week those checks are coming, residuals. So it's one day's worth of work, 6 figures, not bad, especially for a 10-year-old boy.
I know, right?
Different ways you can do it. I'm doing a seminar on April 9th. Definitely inbox HAYES Talent Agency on either Facebook or IG, and I'll give you more details about it. And
HAYEStalent.com as well. I got it scrolling down there at the screen in case anybody forget. Check it out. I try. I'm trying to, make you look good. I don't want to make you look bad now. Eric Iverson coming through with another super chat. He said, could you break down the importance of networking? And Ray said, thanks for the insight. He appreciate that.
I know a lot of times people focus on networking, and networking is definitely a part of it, because who you know is how you can get those opportunities. I'll give you an example. Network. Okay. The first priority is honing your skills. It doesn't matter if you know the right people. If you're not prepared for that opportunity, it means nothing. So your first thing is to understand the business. Know the terminologies. A lot of people confuse casting directors with talent agencies. When you speak to us, we can tell if you're a novice or if you've been in the business and you know what you're talking about. So you have to be very knowledgeable about what you're talking about. So now that's when networking is important, because you start meeting people that you know. You go to different industry events when you're like, hey, I hear you're a director. Well, guess what? You can say, hey, I've been doing this. I've been in acting class. I've been in this theater. I've been doing this. They're like, woo, why don't you come audition for us? You see how that it goes hand in hand? There's no point in networking if you have nothing to bring to the table. So they go hand in hand. But first step is always honing your skills, being the best you can be as an actor before you even try to have those networking opportunities.
That's great right there, definitely. And, you got to be prepared. Just like I may know somebody and that may help me get the role, but then if I'm not memorizing the lines and I'm messing up and I'm coming late, then I'm not getting replaced.
And you just messed up a relationship because now they look bad.
Right. And I make that other person that helped me out look bad because they don't want to refer me because they know I got a bad work ethic. Yeah. And I'm not taking it serious. So you know, when I was in both of those shows, I was up, you know, late memorizing lines, waking up early, reading, memorizing every moment all day long. I'm memorizing and working on the stuff. And that's one thing some people forget, or they don't maybe know, is that they think because movies are entertainment that it's all fun, but people are serious. They're at work.
Yeah.
You know,
Denzel's in character when he's at work. He does not get out his character. You're not talking to Denzel. He's whoever that character is. So people are not allowed to talk to him as Denzel, because if he's a thug, that's who he has to stay, because he has to stay there. People don't understand how mentally stressful that is. Can you imagine having to be a player? Like, okay, I'll give you an example. When I audition people, I have a role. It's a female role. It's from Chicago PD. And the role, the lines, the lady lost her husband. And they're coming to interrogate her and ask her questions about her husband and just losing him. So you have to go to a very dark place to imagine losing your husband, and then them questioning his ethics and who he is as a person you've been married to. And you have 2 kids. So anybody that does that scene, if after they're done with it, they go right back to normal, I know they didn't really go there. Because you can't go to a depressed place like that, or a sad state. It's like, okay, I'm done. You're still in that moment. And there's one lady that stood out to me. She couldn't stop crying afterwards because she was in that moment. That's what makes a good actor. It's not just memorizing those lines. It's being present and having a pull on something that makes you so sad that you can make us feel it. And we feel. That's why it seems like it's easy, because they're really in those moments. You can't just get out of it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, I can't think of the movie. The girl, was it Billie Holiday? No, was it Billie Holiday?
What was the scene you talking about?
It was a black girl. I can't think. It was Billie Holiday. And she had to be drunk and on drugs. She said she had to be depressed. She said it was so hard to get out of that. I can't think of her name right now.
Lakeith Stanfield said it was hard to get out of that role in Judas and the Black Messiah.
Right. And so that's a good actor.
Yeah.
Because you can't just say, hey, I'm back to being me.
Right.
You're in that state and you're mental and
he needed counseling, he said.
Yes. That's a sign. So that's why I tell you, there's always someone that's going to outwork you. The person that gets in there into that character is back to normal. They weren't really in it. But Keith comes in audition and brings it because he's there and he can't get out of it. That's who's getting that job.
Right.
There's always someone that will outwork you. They just need one.
That's true.
Remember that.
Definitely.
Being good is not enough. You have to be able to bring it and to stand out against 100 other people. That's hard. That's why it's a lot of no's.
That's true. Definitely. Yeah, you got to definitely become another person. You know, I know it was no comparison to Lakeith, but I definitely felt like I was a prisoner and I was running things. Even when I was in that little scene, because it was, the old Joliet prison, it was no heat in there. And it was February. It was freezing in there. And so they were only really taking care of me and giving me like hand warmers and letting me wear my coat. And all the extras that were my goons, they didn't have none. So they was cold. So I'm like, come here. When you with Rojas, your hands always stay warm.
But you see what you just said that made it authentic?
Yeah, they like, man, we got your back, man.
And you said you felt like you were in really jail. If you didn't really feel like you were in jail, that scene didn't have the impact it had, Jason.
Right.
You have to really visualize and feel like you're in that moment, because if you don't, you're just saying words and we can tell.
Right.
That's why you have to get trained.
Definitely. And, I definitely put myself in that space. And, I'm nowhere on none of those big time actors and stuff. But, I appreciate it. It is what it is, but that's how you got to do. Eric Iverson said, you talking about Dorothy Dandridge? The movie?
I think so. No, it wasn't Dorothy. It came out maybe a year ago. She played a drug addict. Skinny girl. She had to smoke cigarettes every day.
I don't know. Gina, she's one of my big people to support me over here. She said Michael B. Jordan also need counseling after playing Killmonger. So,
no, it's real. Like a lot of people, you almost see that. You just see the fame and celebrities. Like you gotta have a certain mental to be able to do this and to go in and out and be okay with that.
Right.
Your brain has to definitely have.
I acted like I was really mad at dude. And Diamond.
Wait, the guy from Insecure, what's his name? The one that was with Issa Rae. He said somebody slapped him at the airport. What is wrong with people?
Yeah.
But that's how good he is. Like,
right.
he really like he was a bad boyfriend. But no, those were the lines, and he was able to bring it.
Right.
It was real that you felt the need to slap him.
Right. Lawrence. Yeah, people was really mad at Tariq, Michael Rainey. I mean, that as much as people don't like him, that's the good thing if it drives a person to emotions, you know, and people, you know, see it. Just like when I think Eric Iverson sent me a clip of my scene when he was watching it in Vegas or something. And you can hear the people in the background talking about, man, that hater, look at his ass, punk ass. They up here talking about me.
Yeah, no one is ever going to like you. It's always going to be someone that finds something wrong.
Right.
It's the world we live in. I wish it could be where 100% of people love everything about you, but someone's going to be able to dissect you and tell you what's wrong with you, what you did wrong. So that's a part of what comes with the industry.
Right. Sterling Young said, nice to meet you, Michelle. He's been trying to get into the acting business, and he's done some small roles and things. So he's asked me before about the business, and so you know, just keep working on it. I know some people think if they do YouTube videos that will translate. Or whatever. What advice would you give him to keep going? Just motivational.
So I tell people, if it's in your spirit, then you have to stick with it because God puts it in you for a reason. So if you really feel like this is what I'm supposed to do, then do everything you can to get there because God put it in you for a reason. So you take those steps, you take those acting classes, get in local theater, keep up with your YouTube. I will say that followers can help you when it comes to film, not necessarily TV, but a major film. If you got 5 million followers, they may bring you on for a couple liners because that means people they know that that's money. It's always about money. But I would study the craft and just hone it so you are so freaking good, they have no choice but to bring you on and give you the role. Right. You have to get to the point. I tell my actors when they call me, like, you get any feedback? If I have to ask about feedback, that means you're not confident and you didn't bring it. Because when you bring it, you don't ask me to find out feedback. Because you know, hey, if they didn't pick me, it's because I was too tall or too short. I look too much like the other character. I hate that. Don't ask me for feedback. Because if you're a true actor and you're really good, you don't need it.
Right,
Denzel,
right.
Halle Berry, like, can I feedback on how? No, because they know they can act.
Right. That's true. Definitely. Eric Iverson came through with another super chat. He said, should actors get therapy between playing characters? Some people may look at that as weakness.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what? My friend Sarah says everyone needs therapy. So we would suggest just getting therapy just because there's nothing wrong with it. I think we have to not look at it as a bad thing. It's okay to have therapy. It's okay to talk to someone that gives you a different perspective than your close friends. So it's okay. Get therapy just to get it.
All right, no problem. We got a lot of people trying to figure out what movie you was talking about in here now. Was it Lynn Whitfield and the Josephine Baker story? Suburbia Jones said, I think Miss Hayes.
I had to put on my little glasses. Hold on one second.
Suburbia Jones said, were you talking about Andra Day?
Yes.
Suburbia Jones came through.
Okay, yes. Yes.
Okay, all right. And that was what, the Billie Holiday movie?
It wasn't Billie Holiday, was it?
What movie was that, Sandra Day? I mean, Suburbia Jones.
It came out like last year. It's fairly recent.
Okay.
She was getting a lot of publicity. She's really good.
I missed this one. At least it's not coming to mind right off.
No,
yeah, really so I'm sure his Suburbia Jones gonna let me know.
So yeah, I'm gonna find out what the name.
Yeah. When you do YouTube live streams, it's about 10-15 seconds delay from what we're saying to what they hear. So he'll probably be typing it soon once he hear when I say. But yeah, definitely appreciate it. All right, so I appreciate you stopping by. Before you get up out of here, a lot of people, you know, well, Eric Iverson got another question I'm gonna ask you, but a lot of people, think that they can get involved in this, and they don't see all the work. They just see all the flashiness, like this right here. Look at you doing it big with Tommy Egan. What? By the way, you looking beautiful as always. What was it like meeting him and hanging out at the Force premiere? Just a small little tidbit. What was that like?
So I would say he's nothing like his character, and I think as an agent I'm supposed to know that, but I still wanted to see a little bit of bad boy, and he was so nice and so straight laced and nothing like Tommy. He was a really nice guy that was just talking to everybody, and he's nothing like his character. That's what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing about him is a bad boy at all. And that's what I mean by he is a trained actor, and he's a theater actor.
Right. He went to Columbia College, too.
You can tell, because anybody that can just transform like that. He was so nice, and I don't want to use the word soft because he wasn't soft at all.
Right.
But he was just a regular nice guy.
Right.
Didn't have the Tommy swag. He was nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, he's a real dude. And he's from Chicago, too, although he's been, all over acting and things. So, yeah. Eric Iverson said, is being blackballed a real thing in the industry?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have an actor that I helped get his start, and he got some major roles, and he wanted to come back, and I say, absolutely not.
Sometimes people do it to themselves, though, by some of the things they do. It's like necessarily a negative in the sense that you didn't do anything wrong. It's sometimes you have rubbed people the wrong way, and they don't want to work with you. Is that what it is?
They did something wrong.
Right.
You have to be careful how you talk to people. I've had some very disrespectful conversations, and bye.
Right.
Actors are common dozen. I don't mean it to be mean, but you're not going to disrespect me, and I'm trying to help you fulfill your dream. And then when you realize other agents aren't as open, as accessible as I am, now you want to come back? No.
Right. Yeah, because that's something a lot of people don't realize. It's not easy to get an agent because they want to try to get the roles booked, and if they don't believe or see that you have what it takes, they won't represent you because they may feel they're wasting their time sending you to auditions you won't get.
We don't get paid unless you book. So it's nothing personal. We only want the ones that have good attitudes, are workers, and can act. Know how to bring it. Not be good, be fantastic. Or if you're not fantastic, be able to make a choice that nobody else made so they remember you. You always book the room. You don't always have to book the role, but book that room. Because they'll think of you for other projects.
Right. Great.
Corey Hendricks, one of my clients that was a series regular on Fargo alongside Chris Rock. He's now on the show The Bear. The way he got it was because they remembered him from Fargo and his work ethic. So I'll go into more details, but yes, that was how you have to be very pleasant with people. And when I say he brings it to the screen, he brings it. So they were excited to bring him on. And it's great because now he's doing a comedy. And they always put Corey in a role to be like a thug or very serious, but he's really funny. So I'm excited to see The Bear with his comedic side.
Rob B came through with a super chat. He said 50 got a lot of shows coming up in development. Do you keep an eye on them?
I keep an eye on everything that comes down. I don't just focus on 50 Cent TV shows. I want my actors to be on everything. And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. The difference between trying to be famous and trying to just do the work because you love it. So I get breakdowns from Jake Wolf, everybody, Chicago PD, Chicago Med. I want to see it all. I like the dollar signs. I don't care who the producer is. Yes, right. There are particular shows I like to watch more, but no, I want to see it all. I look for the breakdowns of everything.
Definitely. Damian Kenny had a joke. He said you was trying to have your Christmas canceled when you met Tommy. That's one of Tommy Egan's, Joe Sikora's lines. He gonna cancel Christmas on somebody, meaning he gonna take them out. Yeah. He gonna pop somebody.
He's nothing like that.
Right.
Like wife, like it just was just like a cute little family type, like nothing like that.
Right. All right. Miss Jocelyn said you look a little bit like a older Nia Long. Actually, you all are probably the same age or younger.
I think
You younger.
Let me go get some Botox real quick.
Yeah, Miss Jocelyn, she's younger than Nia Long because Nia Long is
Botox ASAP. I'm looking like an older version of Nia.
Girl, you don't need no Botox. You look like you 30 years old.
You just told me I look like an older bird. I think Nia's 50. Isn't she 50?
Yeah, I was about to say Nia gotta be 50.
The other day, somebody told me about me and my husband look the same age. That's what I know.
Right. And that's another thing. Also, I'm glad that you brought it up. Sorry it took so long. Tell us about your husband, who has been an excellent supporter. A lot of men, on Tuesdays, I do like real talk about relationships and stuff. I'm going to start doing. A lot of men sometimes have problem with a woman that's in the, limelight or in the front, or sometimes making more money. Not saying all of this is the case for you, but you are a strong woman running your company, doing your thing, and your husband is really good. I know him, good dude, and he got your back 10 toes deep. You're very fortunate with that. So tell us a little bit about that, and all the guys that think they about to shoot they shot, cut it out. Hold your horses.
So I would definitely say my husband believed in me and my dream, because it was just a dream. He let me quit corporate and he held it down while I started this business. And a lot of people always think that I make more money. By no means. My husband is in IT. He makes way more money than I do. I just have more of a career that is seen by the public. So people automatically assume because you represent actors, you make more money. No, he gets that consistent check every 2 weeks. It's good money. He's such a laid back alpha type dude. So he likes it. He's just super cool and laid back. He doesn't care about that.
He literally an alpha type dude, ain't he? Ain't he an alpha or a kappa?
Ooh, he's a kappa.
Okay, all right. Don't let him hear that one.
Oh, I'm telling.
I ain't seen him with the cane, so I ain't know. I might have missed those. All right.
He's just laid back. Like, he doesn't care about that kind of stuff because he knows the real Michelle. He knows the Michelle that is at the house in pajamas all day, and he knows no makeup, hair all crazy in a bun. Like, he just loves who Michelle is. He didn't care about that acting stuff.
Right. Okay, so that's what's up, man. So all you guys out there, man, don't be taking certain things too far, man. If you got somebody there for you and they want to follow their dreams, support it, and you all compliment each other, and that's what life is all about, man. Don't worry about who getting more publicity or shine or whatever, because it's about the person. And so, like she say, they know the real, and so that's what's important, Yeah, and you got 2 beautiful kids together, so
thank you.
No problem. Well, all right, I know you're a busy woman, so I ain't gonna keep you all day, but I appreciate you taking the time out to come through and talk with everybody. And before you go, do you want to tell anybody anything? I got the HAYEStalent.com down here if people want to check out your seminar. Tell a little bit more about the seminar before we go.
Okay, so if you are aspiring to be an actor and you just don't know where to start and you just want someone to break it down for you, I am doing a virtual seminar on April 9th. If you just DM me, I'll make sure my assistant gives you all the details in the next couple days. And it's up to you. I'm going to have it where if you can't make it, you can replay it and watch it. It's completely up to you. No pressure. It's just if you want to know the correct way and not get scammed, because there's so many scams out here. And my resume speaks for itself. I'm SAG franchise, and I have working actors on your favorite TV shows. And they're actually going to be in my seminar. Ahmad, Lucian, and Corey, who are all series regulars on Power. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, Ahmad's also on The Shy.
Right.
So they're going to speak and talk to you about their journey as well. So it's really just to empower you and to encourage you, because you're going to get to hear from them and the struggles they had. Because they didn't just wake up and get to be on Power. That's not how it works. So if you're interested, cool. I'm here to talk and help you out, And if not, still best of luck. Go get a book. Get a book on how to break into the acting business. That may be cheaper. It depends. Do you want one-on-one when you get to talk to me and can ask questions? It's whatever you want. But whatever you do is do the homework, be knowledgeable. There's nothing worse than someone trying to speak the language but don't really understand or know what they're saying. They sound crazy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and I'm gonna definitely vouch for you as well. I booked roles with you that everybody has seen recently, and very professional, and it's not a scam at all. You can try your luck, and you don't know people, and but if some people ask about relationships and things, well, going with somebody that people vouch for is a good start. Because, I already have that relationship, and everybody know I'm not about to just say something if it's not true. As well as, everybody is wondering about JP's son. He's on the panel, so he can't tell you about the show.
And his right-hand partner, he's
right.
Going to be on YouTube. He's on the Shy. And if you go to my IG, Hayes Talent Agency, you'll see all my bookings of the roles that people book. We always showcase our actors when they book because we want to celebrate, because it's a celebration, because we know how many times you didn't get it. So we celebrate your accomplishments at Hayes Talent. Right. We're like family. Jay would say, we're like family.
Definitely. And before you get up out of here, I'll show the Hayes Talent Instagram page. Definitely check it out. Hayes Talent Agency right here. And like she say, they celebrate when people book the roles. So here's some of the latest people that booked the role, and they can't say what roles they booked, but
we'll say the show sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes I try not to say
like film booking.
Film, they don't let you say what it is for film. For TV, you can say it, but a lot of times, and I know this is wrong, sometimes I don't even say what show it is, because this is the downside about being an agent. I'll get a lot of calls from people like, why didn't I audition for that?
Right.
So when I say like, hey, so-and-so just booked Power, even though we're celebrating, I get those texts. Well, why didn't I get to get in? Well, how did they get and I did it? So sometimes I just say, hey, episodic, which means TV. But sometimes I just may do it. It depends on the day, but sometimes I just want people to know. Oh, yeah, that's Ahmad and Lucian, my clients on Power. They were interviewed on WGN here in Chicago.
That's dope. Why didn't I get that? I'm just playing with you because of what you just said.
Remember when you came in town to do a photo shoot with us?
Right,
I had our top 10 actors do a photo shoot. That's also on the page as well. So yeah, there's several news stations that would love to interview people that are doing Power. So I can definitely. I'm supposed to be trying to get them interview on the radio station. So I'll make sure you're included on that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I was just playing, but make sure that happened though.
Okay, I'm on it.
Right.
You see, what time is it? He still got me work. I got to make sure that happens. Tonight, Chicago time. I got to make sure that happens.
Right,
so,
right. Yeah, I got to do another show at 10 o'clock tonight. So, but definitely appreciate you coming. And also, these dudes is real good people too, man. Ahmad and Lucian, real down-to-earth people. Ahmad, him and his mom, real cool people. And like you say, it's a family, place, family oriented, which, is really cool, man. You don't want to be somewhere where you just another number. I mean, it is a business, but, you can't take everything personal too. Like somebody say, well, why didn't I audition? Well, maybe they didn't have a role that she thought you would fit for that audition. So why waste time sending you to things that, you may not book, because it's all about sending you to the best opportunities so everybody can succeed.
You want to make sure the agency stays open, right?
Definitely.
That's what favoritism be like, well, you like so-and-so more. I don't like them more. We got to keep the office open.
Right.
So who do I know as a booker?
Definitely. Gina said, great interview, and nice seeing you. And have a good evening. And Eric Iverson definitely wants you to be back again. So
that's so sweet. Okay, I'm back and tell stories about Jay.
Right.
Hey, right. I need you all to flood him and share stories about Jay growing up. He's not liking that.
Right. If you want to say one real quick before you go, we could do that. I don't mind. What's the story you want to say?
I don't. You know your G.I. Joe man. So I'm not going to embarrass you on here.
No, that's a great point, though.
G.I. Joes.
Yeah, no, that's funny. No, so I was huge G.I. Joe. I've even mentioned it on here. That was my joint right there. I love me some G.I. Joe. She used to say I played with dolls. And I would get mad. They not dolls. They the G.I. Joe. Right.
You're supposed to be talking to the ladies in high school.
It wasn't high school. It was up to 6th grade. 6th grade. 6th grade. But let me say this one thing, though, that's funny, that is really interesting. The problem with kids today is they don't play with the G.I. Joes and things, so they don't develop their creativity. I had all of those G.I. Joes, so that's where I started to hone my craft for doing impressions, because I did different voices, scenarios, so I got 25 different men. I'm doing 25 different voices and characters and building it up, and
it helps you to be who you are today, right?
Exactly. So like if I'm playing with this dude
back then, though, we didn't see the fish.
Didn't see it. I was working on it without even realizing it. If I'm supposed to be Sergeant Slaughter, then I gotta be, tough and this and that. So I become him. You know what I'm saying? And then I do it. So don't diss the Joes, okay? No, she used to give me hell and say I played with dolls. I'm like, they not dolls. You did that on purpose. You knew they wasn't no dolls. You just wanted to make me mad.
What do you all think? Were they dolls?
I had the little G.I. Joes, not the big ones, the little ones. If I had the big ones, then you could have got me. I had the little ones.
In high school?
No. 6th grade was the end of the Joe days.
I'm going to have to call Joyce, Mama Joyce, and ask.
See, Eric Iverson got my back. Joes were the best.
In high school, though?
Nah, it wasn't high school.
Okay, I'm in 6th grade, okay.
6th grade was the end.
Embarrass you too bad.
High school. But that's funny. I do got one more story that was funny. It's a Chicago story, so people may not get it, but it is funny. We was at a high school party at my high school, and you were getting robbed, and then you told them, I can't give you these rings, though. This is my mom's. He was like, okay. The robber understood. He like, okay, we don't want it to go there, but give me everything else. And he believed it.
Oh, my God. Me and Pierre just talked about this. I was with about like 4 dudes, because our neighborhood, we went to the Hales where he went to high school, and we getting out the car excited to go to the park, like, hey.
Right.
We didn't see the guns. The guy's like, give us all your money. I was like, I'm a girl, freaked out. And they tried to take my rings. I said, my mama gave you this one. He said, okay, keep that one.
Right. That's funny.
As we look back, that is pretty funny.
Right.
I was scared to death. I was like,
right.
Oh,
and I got to give credit to Pierre Crazy Self, who will be on the channel tomorrow. He chased them down by himself, and he was in high school, a sophomore, chased down, 4 or 5 men.
Right.
He didn't win, but he did. He had the guts to do it.
He did, because when they were in the car trying to take more stuff, they weren't like looking up. So he's like, let's get him to the other guys. They're like, I was like, So he still teases us to this day, but I'm a girl.
Right.
So he's not as hard on me.
Right. And see, for those wondering what I did, I was inside partying. I did not know this was going on.
Joes.
I was playing with the Joes on the stage. No, but I didn't know, and then they came and told me, and I was like shocked. But that's a Chicago party. Yeah.
Chicago for you.
Right. They said your mama's okay. We got you, but everything else is yours.
Right. So I gotta keep one good gold ring. Back in the day, those big gold rings.
Right. I think it had her initials or something on it. A.
You got a great memory. Yeah, my M on
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So.
That's how I know it was 6th grade. But anyway, I appreciate you for coming. It was great talking to you. Hold on once this is over for a quick second after I end this so I can talk to you. Everybody that came out, definitely appreciate it. If you're really serious about being an actor or getting into this business, hit her up on this HAYEStalent.com, join the seminar, and start to take it from there, depending on how serious you are. Look at it as an investment in yourself. How serious are you about this? If not, and you just enjoyed it, that's great. I appreciate all the super chat, all the great questions, everybody coming through, and definitely check out her Instagram because she got a lot of great pictures and things. And as you see, she with Tommy Egan and all these people. So check it out. Everybody, thanks for coming through. And I'll see y'all a little later. Peace. And we out of here.
It's J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'